I feel like I owe everybody an apology.
Paul Heyman drags Roman Reigns through the mud in heated Raw promo. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got some truly surprising and heartwarming news from the WWE Universe. In a moment that shook the WWE Universe to its very core, Paul Heyman, the man who once stood beside Roman Reigns through every blood-soaked war, every title defense, and every betrayal, just turned the Tribal Chief's world upside down. On this week's Monday Night Raw, fans witnessed something they never expected. A promo so personal, so cutting, and so ruthless that it left fans gasping, Roman Reigns furious, and the locker room stunned. Paul Heyman didn't just speak. He went for Roman's legacy, his family, his past, and his future. No mercy, no filter, no love left. From wise man to wicked man, Heyman finally told the world how he really feels about Roman Reigns. This is the full breakdown of what happened when Paul Heyman dragged Roman Reigns through the mud on Raw, and why it might be the beginning of the end for the Tribal Chief. Paul Heyman eviscerates Roman Reigns on Raw. Let's rewind. WrestleMania 41. Roman Reigns loses his Universal Championship. But more than just a title was lost. Trust was broken. Allegiances were shaken. And who was standing awkwardly in the middle? Paul Heyman, the man who guided both Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns to championship glory, the ultimate manipulator, the wise man. But lately, Heyman had become a shadow of his former self. Nervous, paranoid, always looking over his shoulder. Fans began speculating for weeks. Was Paul Heyman losing control of the bloodline? Was he distancing himself from Roman Reigns? Then came the bombshell. Paul Heyman was spotted backstage multiple times with Solo Sikoa, Roman's cousin and enforcer, but those meetings always ended without cameras hearing a word. Suspicious. On the Raw after Backlash, it all came to a head. The WWE Universe knew something big was coming. The main event segment was hyped all night. The lights dimmed. Paul Heyman's music hit. No Roman Reigns. No Solo Sikoa. Just Heyman with a mic in hand, standing under a spotlight in the middle of the ring, looking like a man ready to unload decades of rage. The promo begins. Paul Heyman's promo began slowly, with emotion in his voice. My name is Paul Heyman, and I come to you tonight not as a mouthpiece, not as an advocate, not even as a wise man, but as a victim of Roman Reigns' delusion. The crowd was stunned. What? For 4 years, I stood by his side. I whispered in his ear. I saved his title reign more times than I can count. And what did I get in return? Disrespect. Paranoia. Silence. He stared into the camera. Roman Reigns used me. He used me like he used his cousins. Like he used the bloodline. Like he used this entire industry. He walked around here calling himself a tribal chief, when the truth is, he's just a scared little boy hiding behind gold and intimidation. The boos began. Not because they disagreed, but because they couldn't believe Heyman had finally said it. You're not the head of the table, Roman. You're the reason the table is broken. You're the reason Jay walked away. You're the reason Jimmy got injured. You're the reason Solo had to do what he did. You held that title with an iron fist. You ruled not like a king, but like a tyrant. Heyman started pacing now. I once called you the greatest champion of this generation. I defended you to the world. But now I realize I was nothing but your fool. Your mouthpiece. Your yes man. But the wise man is gone, Roman. And in his place stands the man who's going to destroy everything you built. Insults turned personal. And then, Heyman took it a step further. Let's talk about the real Roman Reigns. The man who cowered during his first Universal title run. The man who ran away when the pandemic hit. The man who only came back when the world was silent and safe. That's your hero. You were never the leader of the locker room. You were a fraud with a bodyguard. You were protected, pampered, and preserved by people like me. The crowd roared. This was no longer a promo. It was a confession. Do you know how many lies I told for you, Roman? I manipulated the press. I rigged contracts. I bribed officials. All to make sure your little title run lasted another week, another month, another year. But you forgot, Roman. I'm Paul Heyman. I don't serve kings. I create them. And now, I'm creating your replacement. The camera zoomed in on Heyman's face as he said, Solo Sikoa is done playing bodyguard. He's done being your silent enforcer. He's done cleaning up your messes. He's done with you. He's the new head of the table. He's the one I believe in. And together, we're going to bury your empire 6 feet deep. He turned to the crowd. You people cheered for Roman Reigns like he was a god. But gods fall. And when Roman falls, it won't be to a spear or a Superman punch. It'll be to betrayal. The same betrayal he taught all of us. Reactions plus locker room response. The camera cut backstage, showing superstars watching the promo in stunned silence. Jey Uso, watching from a monitor, shook his head slowly. Sami Zayn looked shocked. Cody Rhodes, who once battled Roman for the title, smirked. Even Triple H was shown backstage, staring at the monitor with a stern look. No words, just intensity. Social media lit up instantly. Hashtag Heyman shoots. Hashtag Roman exposed. Hashtag Solo Rising. Superstars posted cryptic reactions. Cody Rhodes tweeted, "Told y'all the kingdom was crumbling." Jey Uso simply posted, "He had it coming." Even The Rock weighed in, tweeting, "Truth cuts deep, yes." Roman Reigns did not appear on Raw that night, but his name trended worldwide. WWE.com released a statement saying Roman was not medically cleared after an undisclosed backstage altercation. The timing was suspicious. Aftermath and what comes next. Now that Paul Heyman has gone scorched earth on Roman Reigns, the WWE Universe is asking, what happens next? For starters, the bloodline is dead. The new faction forming between Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa seems inevitable. Rumors even suggest Jacob Fatu is set to debut soon, possibly joining the war against Roman. Insiders are reporting a massive clash being planned for SummerSlam. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa, with Paul Heyman in Solo's corner. But it goes deeper than just a match. Paul Heyman's promo opened old wounds about Roman's cowardice, his manipulation, his betrayal of his family. This wasn't just about a wrestling feud. This was personal. This was family warfare. This was Shakespearean-level betrayal with Samoan steel. Will Roman respond? He has to. You don't survive in WWE by letting someone burn your legacy to the ground on live TV. But here's the catch. If Roman Reigns returns, he won't return as the confident tribal chief we once knew. He'll return as a hunted man, a lonely wolf, a dethroned king. And the question is, can he handle that? Or will this truly be the... Paul Heyman has always been a master of words. But this time, his words were weapons. He didn't just cut Roman down, he exposed him. Every manipulative move, every ego-driven decision, every lie Roman fed the WWE Universe, Heyman threw it all back in his face. This isn't the first time Paul Heyman turned on a dominant champion. Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, even Big Show, they all once had Heyman's loyalty until they didn't. And now, we wait for the response. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more wild WWE storylines, hilarious rivalries,